Hi there, it's Gurmeet from Encompass. I hope you're doing well. This video is about IT exit strategy. You probably heard of a lot of business exit strategy, but this video I want to record just simply for IT exit strategy. I want to share a quick situation with you, what I dealt with the last few weeks, and I also want to share a few tips with you for you to take a look, see if you're you're dealing with a similar problem, and also want to share a quick tip with you how to, deal with this problem. So, 3 companies I dealt with over the last 4 weeks, and 2 presidents and 1 CFO, and they all up against the same challenge. They all feel that they have outgrown their IT company. They know they're not getting a result what they want from IT. So the impact of what they know from our discussion was the IT organization is not making an impact on either revenue or on a payroll. So it's not helping you grow or it's not helping you control costs. Those are the 2 impacts IT companies usually make. So they know that they're not getting what they want. But here's the tricky part. They want to go away from this IT organization, but they're not able to. Whether it's, they don't have a control over it, and whether they are so tied with a bunch of licenses, but somehow they, leadership in these companies, decided they want to go away from it, but they can't. So, for my question as a business owner, as a business leader is, hey, how do you stay in a business when you don't have a control over a business? Who's running a business? Is it you or is the vendor running a business? Most business leaders I talk to, not having a control on a business is the biggest challenge for them. We all want to have a control on a business. If you give somebody access to your infrastructure or your security, you gotta be able to take access away as well. But in these companies that I'm dealing with, that they give the keys to their departments to some company, but they don't know how to take it back. So I want to share quick 4 tips with you and help you see that if you up against the same challenges or not. So number 1, the first tip I want to share with you is a procurement process. This should be red flag for you. Take a look at that. If IT company is buying all the hardware, software licenses through their company, or they're buying directly through your company. If you're a business owner, these are your assets: software license keys, hardware inventory or subscription license keys. These are your asset. They should belong to your company. Are you buying it through IT company or are you buying it through directly under your umbrella? So this should be red flag. If you're buying everything through third-party vendors, and when you trying to depart from IT company, how do you differentiate that? And how do you know, if you want to take ownership of those assets, what's the approach there? So that's the number 1. That should be red flag if you're doing all IT procurement through third party. The second point I want to make is bundle services. Take a look at your services. Are they all bundled in one items? Which means that a hardware, software, subscription, and the labor is all bundled into one item. So if you look at that, and how do you know what you're paying for? And these bundles are usually red flags. These bundles are there not to provide the greater service, but to lock you down in such a way that you cannot get away from the services, because you can't tell which one is which. So if you have a bundle services that everything is bundled into one service, take a look at that. That should be another red flag for you. Number 3, I want to mention that is access. Do you have the same level of access as a business owner, a leader, same as the IT organization have? Olden days, we used to call it a break glass, CDs or break glass systems, where you don't access that break glass CDs unless there's an emergency in a business. So something happened, you can break the glass and take the CD out and get all the passwords and get back to your systems. These days we don't have that, but you still need the same access to your systems. So whatever access your IT company have, you should have the same access to it. You're not going to use it, but in case you need it, you should have the same access as IT organization to your company. And the last one I want to mention is do you have a written strategy? If a relationship doesn't work out between your company and IT organization, it could be either your staff, in-house staff as well. If something doesn't work out, is there a written, documented plan that what can you implement to build your exit plan out of the relationship or out of the partnership? So you need that initially, the build-up plan. So take a look at that. If you don't have a plan, definitely that's a red flag. You want to work with your partners and find out, hey, what could we do if this relationship doesn't work out? How would we depart our partnership? And who has to do what? Put a step-by-step process similar to business exit strategy. We need IT exit strategy. Make sure that those steps are there and you agree with those steps, and somebody can execute those steps as well if something doesn't work out. So those are the 4 red flags that you want to be mindful of. If you locked in a some sort of a partnership that if at one point you want to get away from it, you will not be able to get away with it simply just because the way it's structured. So these 3 companies I dealt with over the last 4 weeks, they were all dealing with a similar situation where something is a bundle too complex, or all that IT assets are purchased through IT service provider, or that there's no exit strategy and then there's no written plan. So those are the 4 steps. Hopefully that will provide some insights for you to understand how is the partnership supposed to be structured. And if your partnership structured this way, if you need help, I'm going to recommend. If you need help, I'm going to include a video below on my YouTube channel. I had a discussion with Jerry Valentine. We were talking about the similar, partnership, trusted relationship, and how to depart from it if something doesn't work out. So I'm going to include a link to the video below as well. Check out the discussion. I think you will find a lot of valuable information, help you deal with your situation. And a second resource I want to recommend, there's a blog on our website as well, which talks about the same 4 steps a little bit in detail, what I just walked you through. And there's actually an Excel sheet as well. You can, it's a workbook. You can fill it out and, get some more insights into what you're dealing with. Okay. Until next time, don't forget to send me your feedback. If you need any help, I'm always a phone call away. Until next time, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.